So we thank God for this another day and another day. Both us God, for traveling grace. At this time, let us say good morning, Pastor Lee.
Thank you, brother officers, and to Reverend Dell, Reverend Madison, and to all of our brothers and our sisters. What a blessing and what a privilege it is to be in the house of the Lord one more time. Truly God is good and He is worthy of all of our praises. Tracy, come on and write on the board for us. And again, we thank God for those who have tuned in to our Facebook, our YouTube, or whatever you might be able to do so. God is good and He's worthy of all of our praises. Today I want to talk about Jesus passes by. Jesus passes by. And I want us to look at Luke 18, verse 35 through 43. We will not be able to complete this whole thing during this session. However, we'll take it up on tomorrow. But I want you to, number one, because Jesus passed by, a blind beggar received his sight. And those verses are Luke 18, verse 35 through 43. And we're going to come back and explain some of that. Number two, because Jesus passed by, a widow's sorrow was turned into joy.
That's right.
Jesus brings joy and happiness.
Yes, sir.
Luke 7, verses 11 through 16. Thirdly, because Jesus passed by, a stormy night became calm. He can calm the storm in your life.
Oh, yes, He can.
Mark 6, verse 45 through 52. Jesus is a storm calm.
Yes, He is.
Fourthly, because Jesus passed by, sinners were forgiven. John 4 and 6. You are aware that when Jesus passed by, He does make a difference.
Yes, sir.
And I want to suggest to us today, in the midst of this COVID-19, that if there were ever a time that we needed Jesus, it's now.
That's right, shepherd.
If there were ever a time that we need to demonstrate our faith, it's right now. Tomorrow it may be too late. But we need to demonstrate our faith.
That's right.
Jesus has always showed love, compassion, and mercy. And so we have to be aware that we serve a God that loves us in spite of our ways, in spite of our negative talking, he still loves us.
That's right.
In this lesson today, there are people, when they're blind to the word of God, will try to discourage you.
Oh, Lord.
They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to have joy. They don't want you to have peace.
That's right.
Simply because their lives are in a
That's right, Pastor.
mess.
Yes, sir. Loves company.
And mess stinks.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
It says when Jesus walked on the earth, he made many changes in people's lives.
That's right.
See, he made changes. Whereas you may know somebody who used to be evil, mean, and conniving, but they met Jesus.
All right, the Pastor.
And he made the difference
Me, Pastor, me.
in their lives.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
That's right.
Let me deviate from there just a moment, and you may raise that. How to dealing with a food.
Oh, Pastor, help me, Lord.
Dealing
Help me, Pastor.
with a food.
Oh, help me.
You are aware that this world is full of food.
Oh, have mercy.
Sister Hayes, read Proverbs 12:15. Of food. Of food. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. The fool, that's what the fool said. But you got to know how to deal with your adversary, how to deal with a fool. Proverbs 12:15.
The way of a fool is right in his own eyes.
The way, is that right? The way of a fool.
Yes, sir.
Anybody know something?
Oh, yes, I do, Pastor.
The way of the fool
Lord.
is right in his own eyes.
Yes, sir.
Many people that are in jail, many people that have violated the laws of God will always say it's the other person's fault.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm innocent, but they are guilty. Read it again, sister.
The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkens unto counsel is wise.
He's wise. There aren't too many people today who wants to be wise. Go back up to verse 11.
He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding.
A void of understanding. Go to Proverbs 11:2.
When pride cometh,
When pride cometh, all right,
then cometh shame.
then come and say, America today is not ashamed of anything.
Anything.
In other words, that which we ought to be ashamed of, we seem to be proud of.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, what does it say?
But with the lowly is wisdom.
Is wisdom. You're better off taking the lower road
Yes, sir.
than always bragging and boasting.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
The lower road.
That's right, Pastor.
See, God has a way of elevating. You can be in the back, and God has a way of bringing you all the way from the back, placing you up front.
I know you're right, Pastor.
People can have marked you off and say you would be nothing in life.
Right.
But God has a way of making people
Yes, sir.
out of a life.
That's right, Pastor.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that I'm a child of God.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm glad that I'm on his side. A fool. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes.
Oh, now it's just how.
Yeah. Ain't nobody right but him.
Pastor.
Everybody else is marching wrong.
Right.
And he's the only one out of 1,000 people. He's the only one that's in his step.
Oh, Pastor.
God never intended us
One person.
to use common sense against him.
Right.
Common sense says, since I'm living in God's world, I'm going to serve him.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what he says do. Is that right? Number one, dealing with a food. Number one, food rather, causes conflict. Read Proverbs 10, verse 23. A fool.
It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom.
Has wisdom. A fool. And listen what the Bible says. Agree with your adversary how? Quickly, while. If you start arguing with a fool, it won't be too long for somebody to pass by and say, look at them two fools.
That's right, Chuck.
Is that right?
That's right.
A fool. Go to Proverbs 29 and verse 11. Proverbs 29
Verse 11.
and verse 11.
A fool uttereth all his mind.
A fool, see that's where some folks are crazy today.
Pastor, help us.
They say whatever they on their mind, they don't think about hurting other folks.
Not at all. No.
Now, read it again.
A fool uttereth all his mind,
All his mind. Read on.
but a wise man keepeth in till afterward.
Until afterwards.
Help us, Pastor.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I read that out the Living Bible?
Yeah.
Fools vent their anger.
Fool does what?
Fools
Vent.
vent.
Fools
Vent.
vent, V-E-N-T.
Yeah.
That's right.
The anger.
Yes, sir.
Fools vent their anger, but the wise quietly hold it back.
Hold it back.
Yeah.
It's not expedient
Help us, Pastor. That's right.
that you always say what's on your mind.
I know you're right, Pastor. Amen, amen. You don't have to say it all the
That's
time.
right.
Amen. Right.
You don't have to tell me you love me. You don't have to tell nobody. Just watch the ways and actions.
Amen, Pastor. Amen.
Ways of actions speak louder
Yeah.
than words. Is that right?
Yeah.
Go to Proverbs 18 and 13.
18 and 13 says, he that answereth a matter before he heareth it is
Oh,
a folly and shame unto him.
And say, man, have you been talking to people and you try to explain to them something?
Pastor.
And they say, oh, I know how to do it.
Right, let them do it.
And when they get over there, they have to come back and ask again, now how do I do this?
Right.
You left before you got the right understanding.
Right.
And so the Bible says, in all of thy ways,
Get understanding.
get some understanding.
Yes, sir.
Finally, and then we're going to go back to Jesus' path back. Go right on the board. Fools talk more than they listen.
Oh, Pastor.
Fools talk more. You need to get away from people who are always just running their mouths.
It's important.
They know your business, they know my business, and they ain't got sense enough to know that that back door is open.
Pastor, help us, Pastor, teach.
That's right. Watch what he says here in Proverbs 18 and 2.
A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
All right, Proverbs 18 and 13.
13 says, he that answereth the matter before he heareth it is folly and shame unto it.
Shame unto it.
Pastor, in the NIV it says, spouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish.
Starting off
Before listening.
before listening. Oh, you heard go. But where you going? What you going to do when you get there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
You remember sometime we was in school and we wanted to try to impress the teacher that we knew the answer. And no good and well, we didn't know the answer, but we had both hands up. And then you uttered something out, and you knew good and well it was wrong. A fool. A fool. Fools are unreliable. Fool traits are unreliable. Read Proverbs 26 and 6. a food. You may not believe it, but a fool is a dangerous individual.
Yes, sir. You don't know what you're going to get.
All right?
He that sendeth the message by the hand of a fool, cutteth off the feet, and drinketh damage.
You're going to send a message
Oh, Lord.
by food. That's like a blind woman playing the lottery. And asking the next door neighbor, will you play this ticket?
Pastor.
Do you think that neighbor will come back and say, you hit them? That's my ticket. So you didn't win. You won in one sense, but you didn't in another one. See? And so, think of it. So we're so involved in doing everything else, trying to make a living when we're passing up a living. We're doing everything that we can to try to be happy when we're passing up the person who can make us happy.
Right. Teach, Pastor.
We don't want Christ.
Only found there.
No, we don't want him. Listen, in Luke 18, verse 35, this man, Tracy, this man, you may raise that, this man was blind. This man was blind. And read, Sister Charmaine, 18, and verse 35. This man was blind.
And it came to pass that as he was come nigh unto Jericho, a certain blind man sat by the wayside begging. And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant.
All right, number one, Jesus, read verse 35 again.
And it came to pass that as he was come nigh unto Jericho, a certain blind man sat by the wayside.
Jesus is going through Jericho. Number two, a blind man is there. And when you don't have Christ in your life, you're blind. This blind man, number three, this blind man was sitting by the roadside. Sitting by the roadside. The next one, he's begging. He wants a handout. The strange thing about us as Christians, that we proclaim that Christ is so good. The church is a good place to be. But Sunday after Sunday,
Pastor.
Wednesday after Wednesday,
Teach, Pastor, teach.
we keep coming just by ourselves and won't witness. Very few of us will witness the people in our houses about the love of God. We see them struggling. We see them confused. We see them, their lives are all messed up, but we really won't give them the right answer. Because we're afraid they're going to hurt. We're going to hurt their feelings.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's so true.
What verse says next? What verse are you going to?
36.
36 says what?
And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant.
All right, the next thing, the blind man heard a noise. And put in parentheses, it was the right noise. See, some of us just make a lot of noise that don't mean nothing. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, folks are driving down the street with their radio turned up louder. In other words, it's a public radio. Matter of fact, you see some of the cars sometimes. The radio is better than the car itself.
Right, Pastor.
Random car was not speed. That's so true.
Yeah. Watch this. The crowd, and No. The next one is that the man wanted some help from Jesus. Verse 36 again, sir.
And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant.
See, he asked. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's right.
Right on the board, the man was blind. But he still heard the noise. Make the right noise. People are too quiet in churches. Noise belongs in the church. Is that right? Some people don't want drums and keyboards in the church, but yet they go to the nightclub. They get right under the speaker. They want to be on the front row, but come to church, they sit way in the back. You want a seat on the first. In other words, you want a seat up front at the ball game.
That's right.
I want to see my son play. Is that right? That's right. But at the church, if we do come, and that's why we said, if you got to rush, if you got to leave, don't come and do your thing on the program and then leave.
I know you're right, Pastor. Amen.
Right, Pastor.
That's why we have to be careful that folk get up and talk at a funeral, and then when they finish talking, they throw up a finger.
That's right.
If you're going to leave, no, you sit there and hear me now. I've been here with you.
That's right. Exchange.
Exchange. Fair exchange. I listen to what you said, now you listen to what I say.
Help us, Pastor.
We are too busy,
Busy.
really, to hear the word of God.
Help us to that shepherd.
I hear my pastor, Pastor S.W., saying to me some years ago when I went to Indianapolis, he said, son, you too busy to understand what God wants you to do. I'm teaching school, running in and running out. In other words, you got to take some time to let the word meditate upon the word of God. Verse 36 again.
And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant. And they told him that Jesus of Nazareth passeth by.
All right, read on.
And he cried, saying, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me.
Listen, the blind man perhaps had heard about Jesus. And now is his opportunity to get some help from Jesus. But usually the folks in the church can do more harm to the world than they do good.
That's right, Pastor. Now you right about that.
Are you with me? The same folks that sing in our choirs, the same folks that serves as a teacher for the mission department are the same one that the sinners can't get in at the liquor store for us.
Teach, Pastor, teach.
Help us today, shepherd.
That choir member that had that melodious voice sitting at the bar and the sinner can't take his place. Trying to play the number and here's the usher.
Pastor, help us, Pastor.
Don't be a hypocrite.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Hypocrite. Don't be a liar. Don't try to be something that you're really not. You either saved or you're not. See. Listen what he said. Read that verse.
And he cried, saying, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And they which went before rebuked him that he should hold his
All right,
peace.
he makes that. The other people,
Christians.
yeah. You've been in church all your life. Here comes a person just from the street. They happen to be in church.
Amen, Pastor.
And you sitting there won't say nothing.
Nothing. Won't say nothing. Looking like you in
And the first thing you want to do, here come a young lady. She got on a mini. You want to get a big old blanket and put it on her leg. What did you look like when you came here?
I wish you said that, Pastor. Amen.
Leave that woman alone, and eventually, when she hear the word,
Right, let's stir the company.
the word of God will change. You embarrass that woman.
Amen, Pastor, amen.
If you're going to do anything, do it after service. Talk to her.
That's right.
And while you're talking, give her a bigger skirt.
Is that right? You know, we don't do that here.
Right, Pastor.
And you got a liar sitting right up by you. Come on, we don't do this.
Right. Well, you already cuckoo.
Pastor, about 10 years after getting in church, me and my god sister, we was real close, and we had promised each other that we was going to be in each other's wedding. But when it came time to get married for me and your counseling, it wasn't no same people in my wedding, so she was hurting everything. And she got married and didn't invite me. Well, she didn't put me in her wedding. But anyway, when she called me ready to come to church, the first thing I told her was, we don't wear pants. I said, Diane, you got a skirt. And she still throw that up in my face today, how I stopped her. I'm thinking that because she's my god sister, I should be able to tell her the truth. You know, this is how we do things. But she showed me then that it didn't make no difference. You just let them come.
Don't make no
Eventually
difference.
change. First, they used to say, if we all dressed in purple and somebody come. First 2 times, they may not have the purple, but that 3rd time, they going to come back with purple on too.
The word of God changes people's lives.
Now, it sure does, Pastor, not the word. It does.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's what
We kill people
Pastor.
Yes, sir, Pastor.
before they really get in.
Now, you can say that again.
10, 15 years later, she still throw that in my face.
And we hunt up people being their wedding. Now I know I'm going to get into trouble when I say, you don't need everybody in your wedding.
Teach, Pastor, amen.
Remember that it's a holy matrimony.
Right, holy.
And you got somebody that's unsaved in your wedding. About my sister, my brother. Is he saved?
That's right.
Teach, Pastor.
He going to contaminate your wedding.
Oh, Lord.
That's so true, shepherd.
Yeah. This man, blind. But evidently he felt something.
Yeah.
This voice that he heard, this noise that he heard was different from the other noise.
That's right. That's right.
Some people sometimes want to stop people from coming to the pastor. Oh, no, let the people come on.
Right.
In other words, you need to get out the way and let that person come on.
That's right.
Teach,
Encourage
Pastor,
them to come.
teach.
Encourage them to come.
And so the new person come in jumping and shouting. Oh, it don't take all of that.
All
And
right.
then you kill them.
All right.
That person is happy to be out of the world.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't know what they've been through.
That's right.
Nobody know what you've been through.
Now, I know.
And if anybody ought to be making some noise, it ought to be me and you. Psalm 107 says, let the redeemed of the Lord
Pastor, teach. Oh, yes, they say.
Oh, yes.
say so, whom he has redeemed
Oh, yes.
from the hands of the enemy.
That's right, Pastor.
Is that right?
That's right.
That's me and you.
Yeah.
We've been redeemed. We've been washed in the blood
Yeah.
of the Lamb.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
And they sitting there telling hush,
Right.
hush. Some people reap all kinds of benefits.
Pastor, Pastor, Pastor.
They reap great benefits. In the 3 churches that the Lord has allowed me,
Now, I know you right
Pastor.
now. Reap benefits.
there are many people that have reaped many benefits. But when it comes down to praising God and thanking God,
Pastor, teach, Pastor, please.
we become quiet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then looking at you like they didn't quiet up.
Yeah.
I know you're right, Pastor.
See,
Sit up front.
it costs something
Yes, sir. It does.
to be on the Lord's side.
It does. It does.
You got to deny yourself
Amen.
when the sun is shining and you want to be at the park and something going on at the, you got to make a decision.
Amen, amen.
You do.
And you ought not have to wrestle where you're going to be if you're a child of God and something going on at the church.
Oh, Pastor, Pastor.
We're gonna be at 9 to 5 Monday through
Are
Friday.
you with me?
I know you're right. Help me, Lord.
And you got to be careful.
Teach, Pastor.
Pastor.
Allowing your children to pull mama, grandmama, granddad, and granddaddy away from church.
Teach, Pastor, teach.
That's right.
We want to support them in the worldly thing.
Yes, sir.
But they make their own decision whether they're going to come to church.
Teach, Pastor, help me.
Maybe the Lord might bless me with some more children. I'll be able to show you all how to really baby.
That's all right, Pastor.
Yes, you will.
You let your children.
Pastor.
76 it ain't too late for me. If Sarah and Abraham had babies at 9 and 100. What about me at 76? I just got to find the right person.
That 21-year-old.
I hear you, Pastor.
You may come here looking old, but that's daddy old looking baby. Yeah, that's my dad.
That's right.
Yeah. Just listen. These people tried to make him hush. But verse 39 says what?
And they which went before rebuked him, that he should hold his peace. But he cried so much the more, Thou son of David, have mercy on me.
Verse 40.
And Jesus stood and commanded him to be brought unto him.
Right on the board. That this man, this blind man, got Jesus' attention. See, when you cry and cry right,
You'll get his attention.
you'll get his attention. He cried out, says, Thou son of David. Jesus, Tracy, has always been kind and showed mercy. He showed mercy on all of us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When we were wrong, he did kill us,
Yes, sir.
but gave us a chance. Thou son of David, have mercy on me.
Yes.
Verse 40 says, Then Jesus stood and commanded him.
That's right.
Jesus said to them, since y'all talking so much, go and bring him to me. Bring him to me.
That's right.
You got to learn how to bring your problem to God. Hey, read 1 Peter 5 and 7.
Oh, yes. Oh,
You got to know. Some stuff is too hot for you to try to handle.
I know you right, Father. I know you right.
You done worried yourself to death.
Yes, sir.
You're nervous wreck, trying to figure out and work some stuff out. And while you're trying to figure it out, God has already worked it out.
Already.
This is what 1 Peter 5 and 7.
Cast all your cares on him, for he careth for you.
But he carried for you. While you're trying to figure it out,
Here for me.
God has already.
Yes.
The old songs we used to sing, take your burden to the Lord and leave it there.
Yes, sir. It works.
Take it to him.
Yes, sir. It
Take it
works.
there. Tell the Lord, I've been wrestling with this all for a whole year, and I have been Lord, the Lord sometime will let you wrestle with your own problem.
Yes, sir.
Y'all remember that one? Go to Mark 5, verse 25. You remember the woman had been bleeding
Yeah.
for a long time. Jesus could have stopped it the moment it started.
That's right.
See, verse 25 says what?
A certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years and had suffered many things.
12 years
Yes, sir.
that woman had been bleeding. 12 years had been taken advantage of by other people. Is that right?
That's right.
And Jesus could have solved it right. But listen what you read on.
And she had suffered many things from many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather.
Listen, most folks that's well off to do usually don't come to the church until they don't have nothing.
Right. That's right.
Good job. But they say, well, $100 is too much for me to pay my tithe. But yet they're paying $1,000 on a car.
Right.
Cell phone bill $200. But $100 is too much to give to the man that's air that you're breathing.
Right, Pastor.
Deuteronomy 8:18 says, remember that it is him that giveth thee power to get wealth.
That's right, Pastor.
You got to learn to appreciate what God does for us. As we said sometimes that we could have been dead,
Should have been.
buried in our, we could have been numbered among that 100 and some thousand people.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
But God
But God.
gave us another chance.
Yes, he did.
What are we going to do with the chance that God has allowed us? We only allotted so much time here on earth. Whether you believe it or not, time is winding up.
That's right. Damn right on the wall.
It's getting late in the evening. And they used to say, get late in the evening, I better hurry home. Time out for foolishness. Time out for playing. Is that right?
That's right.
Get right. You used to sing the song, back, church, and get your load.
That's right.
Yeah. You better get right now. What does it say?
When she had heard of Jesus, came in the press behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole.
If I could just touch. She had some faith.
Yes, sir.
If I could just touch the hem
Yeah.
of his garment.
Yes, sir.
She knew that the hem belonged to him.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You don't need the whole cake. You just get enough crumbs. And you get full of crumbs.
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Read on.
And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up.
Just by touching the hem of his garment, her blood stopped. She had some faith.
Yes, sir.
She discovered that I've been trying all this other stuff. I've been going to people and they've been saying, try this.
Yeah.
But I told you I had a headache here. If everybody in here got some pills they want me to take. You can't take everybody.
That's right. Amen.
That's right.
It might work for them, but it won't work for me. You need a certified person that knows something about medicine.
That's right.
You can blow up yourself. Is that right?
That's so true.
What else is that, sister?
And she felt her in her body that she was healed of that plague.
She felt in her body that something had happened.
Yes, sir.
What do I do when the Lord bless me? What should I say? Yeah. That's right. Psalm 116 verse 12
What
says,
shall I read?
That's right.
what shall I read? Not your neighbor, but what shall you read?
Amen.
Says God. You know, sometimes you get a shut-off notice and they come to cut your lights off, cut your gas off. And they can't find where to cut it off.
Right.
Nobody but God.
Nobody but God. Yes, right.
See. Watch this. Read on.
And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him.
Now listen to this. Two things. The woman knew that there had come a change over her.
Yeah.
Jesus knew
Yes.
that somebody had touched him with a sincere heart.
Right.
God knows who's for real.
He knows, you know.
Yes, sir.
Now he sure know.
And he knows who's faking.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Is that right? Make coming to church, make it worthwhile.
Now I know you're right, Pastor.
See, serving God will pay off. And I know he said serving God will pay off after a while, but serving God pays off now.
Right now, Pastor, right now.
I know you're right.
Yes, sir.
And there are those who are here today know that God is a healer.
Now he is, Pastor. Oh, yes, he is.
That God can change
Yes, he can.
the situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It looks bad, but don't throw in the towel. Psalm 35 says, weeping endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Tomorrow it's going to be better. If I can just hold out till tomorrow, it's going to be better. We talk about we want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Over yonder is better than here. I mean, if we work while this day, we got the rewards waiting. And no use in trying to rush and get. You can't go home nowhere until the Lord calls you.
That's right.
And then when you do all you try to do to stay here. I've known people that's running track, running exercise, getting up early in the morning, 5 and 6 o'clock, taking exercise, drinking 8 glasses of water. I don't eat no meat. And then
Help us, Pastor. Help us.
Fall dead the next month.
yeah. Just do what God said do. And he'll take care of you. God will take care of you. Thank God for the doctors. But then you got to thank God that made it possible.
First.
Is that right? We want to thank God for everything else. But we ought to thank God for his son Jesus. What's the next part of that?
Turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? And his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou?
See, there's always somebody who won't be smart.
Yeah.
Jesus, don't you see all the folks around you? Sometimes we're better off just keeping our devil's mouths shut.
Amen.
And watch the miracles take place. Listen. What does he say?
And he looked around about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole.
Thy faith. That woman had faith in it.
That's right. That's right.
And when God has blessed you, when God has healed you, when God has delivered you, don't let nobody make you hurt.
I know you're right, Pastor. Nobody. I know you're right.
If you witness for God, you're going to make some enemies.
I know you're right. Pastor.
What does he say?
Go in peace and be whole of thy plague.
Go what? Go in peace.
Go in peace, be whole of thy plague.
Read on.
While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue house.
See, Jesus was never just doing nothing.
That's right.
When he finished with that woman,
Yes, sir.
Always busy.
here comes a ruler. Said, I need help.
That's right.
See, the woman, she going on about her business.
Yeah.
She got a story to that. See, when God saved you and delivered you, then you ought to go on and tell somebody else about Jesus. Don't be a baby all of your life. Somebody got to beg you to come to church. You ought to get up and be happy to be in God's house, knowing what he has done for you. Some people act like the church won't move on without them. Haul off and die. Haul off and get sick.
I know you're right.
On your job. There in Toledo. One of my members said, man died at Jeep. He died, and they just moved him, but that conveyor belt kept moving. Yeah. Yeah. That man got a business to run. Don't think that because God doesn't do some things for you that he can't do it.
That's right.
Sometimes God allows us to be buffed back and forth.
Yeah.
And as someone said, when the Lord gets through with me, I'll come forward as pure gold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord. See, no problem. And of course, we'll have to continue with that later, but the blind man. blind man he said, I want to see.
Yeah.
Read on something.
And they which went before rebuked him that he should hold his peace. But he cried so much the more, Thou son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stood and commanded him to be brought unto him. And when he was come near, he asked him, saying, What wilt thou that I shall do unto
See,
thee?
in other words, when the man came to Jesus, Jesus already knew what he wanted.
Right.
But he asked him, what do you want?
Yeah, that's right.
What do you want to do about your condition?
That's right.
You talking about you want a job, but you don't want to go put in an application.
Pastor.
Is that right?
That's right.
You got a job right there in your house and outside your house. If you just clean up on the inside, break full time.
Right. You don't get paid, though.
Always something.
Always something. Don't take the Lord's day to rest.
That's right.
Call a man up on Monday and say, Mr. Boss Man, I won't be in Monday. Because I'm going to rest on Monday.
All day.
And I'm afraid when all of this is over,
Oh, Pastor.
some of these folks will have gotten so lazy that they say, oh, I'm going to stay at home and watch.
Amen, Pastor, amen.
But you got to remember what Hebrew 10, verse 24, and not forsaken to assemble.
That's right. It's in the book.
Psalms 133 says, how good
And how pleasant.
and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
Yes, sir.
In Acts 2 and 41 through 47, it talks about they that gladly received the word
Yeah.
was baptized, and they continue.
That's right.
Yes. Every day. All
Continue. Are you hungry for the church? Are you hungry for the word? Are you hungry for real fellowship?
Pastor.
You need it.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
That's right, Pastor.
The church is not built by men. But Jesus said, upon this rock I'll build my church.
He will do it.
The church will still stand
Yes, sir.
when all of this is over.
That's right, Pastor. That's
It's not standing for him per se. It will be standing for the sake of us. That we can come in out of the rain. Thank you for having tuned in to our broadcast and on Facebook, Zoom, or whatever you may have done. We say that thank you for sharing with us. And don't forget to come and share with us at 318 High Street at the New Zion Baptist Church on Sunday morning, and then at the Memorial Baptist Church at 770 Humboldt Parkway here in the great city of Buffalo. And if you're in the Toledo area, 2102 Mulberry Street at the Eastern Star Baptist Church. And we love to have you there to share with us and to be a witness about the goodness of God.